the first major challenge which India faced was formation of linguistic states. What is that? Formation of linguistic states. When we look at the physical map of India, when we look at the physical map of India, there is a lot of difference. The physical map of India at the time of independence is entirely different from that of today, because the boundaries of various states, they had undergone number of changes over the last few years. At the time of independence, the major challenge faced by free India was integration of the princely states. That was a major challenge faced by free India. It was due to the continuous efforts of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who was rightly called the Iron Man of India. The various princely states, they merged together and India emerged as an independent state. But after independence, there were lot of differences among the people. The best example was the Madras Province. The Madras Presidency was an area where the Tamil speaking people and Andhra speaking people, Telugu speaking people, they used to live together. The Telugu speaking people, they started demanding for a separate state. They strongly felt that the people who speak Telugu should stay in one separate state. That led to Visalandhra movement. This Visalandhra movement was led by Potti Sriramulu. It was led by Potti Sriramulu. And this Potti Sriramulu, he led the Visalandhra movement and he was on fast unto death for a period of 56 days. And the government, the then government, it was not at all willing to give a positive nod for the formation of Andhra Pradesh, because the government strongly felt that with great difficulty the princely states joined together and India achieved independence. And again, if India is divided in the name of language or culture, that would lead to disintegration of the country. That would lead to the disunity among the people. That is what the leaders of India feared. So they were unwilling to divide the country into new states. But the Visalandhra movement was highly revolutionary in nature, and there were number of protests in the state. Finally, when Potti Sriramulu lost his life after fasting unto death for 56 days, the government had no other option except to give a nod for the formation of a separate state called Andhra Pradesh. But in the due course of time, there are number of states which were newly formed. For example, you take what you call Jharkhand. Jharkhand is a state which is carved out of Bihar today. Jharkhand is a state which is carved out of Bihar. In the same way, you take Chhattisgarh. Okay, when you take Chhattisgarh, it is carved out of the Madhya Pradesh. In the same way, Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand is carved out of Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so these states, they gained a separate status in the year 2000. What is the demand for their formation? They felt that not only the language should be taken as the parameter, other than the language, there are various other parameters like ethnicity, geography and culture. So based on these parameters like ethnicity, geography and culture, they started demanding for separate states. Though initially the leaders of the central government, they did not respond in the positive manner, but in due course of time, they had to accept because they realized that the formation of separate states, the division of the country into the separate states leads to better administration, smoother administration, and country will be more united and country will be more prosperous. This is a change in the attitude of the leaders of the central government today. Okay, so let us recapitulate what is the major challenge to Indian Federation. The major challenge to Indian Federation is formation of linguistic states. At the time of independence, the political map of India was different. Whereas today, if you look at India's map, the physical map, the boundaries, they underwent lot of changes. Number of princely states, they merged together and India emerged as a free independent state due to the efforts of the Iron Man of India, that is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. But immediately after independence, the Telugu speaking people, they started demanding for the formation of a separate Telugu state, which is called as Visalandhra movement. This Visalandhra movement was started by Potti Sriramulu and he went until death for nearly 56 days. The leaders of the central government, they were not ready to accept for the formation of Andhra Pradesh. But later, they had to heed to the demand of the people of Andhra Pradesh and that Telugu speaking people. That is the reason a new state called Andhra Pradesh was formed in the year 1952. In the year 1952, a new state, that is Andhra Pradesh, was formed based on the parameter that is language. But later, not only the language, based on ethnicity, based on geography, based on culture, the people, they started demanding for the formation of number of new states. That is the reason in the year 2000, Jharkhand is carved out of Bihar, Chhattisgarh is carved out of Madhya Pradesh and Uttarakhand is carved out of Uttar Pradesh. Okay, the leaders of central government today, they changed their attitude and they changed their perspective towards the formation of linguistic states today. And they feel, they understand, they realize that the formation of the states, the new states, leads to better administration, a smoother administration, and country will be much more united than the previous. This is the major challenge what Indian federalism faced and what Indian federalism could overcome. Okay, now let us take the second major challenge, that is the language policy. What is that? The second major challenge is the language policy. What do you know about India? When we talk about India, India is a multilingual country. What is that? It is a multilingual country with a number of languages and number of dialects. When you, for every few kilometers, hundreds of kilometers, you come across a new language, you come across a new dialect. Am I right or not? So India is lingually very, very diversified. It is multilingual and linguistically it is a very, very diversified country.